Hey guys, and welcome back to a brand new video and another episode of my Mick Schumacher Career Mode today for round number 4 for the Spanish Grand Prix, and we enter the European season now and the upgrades are here in full effect. And based off of practice, Ferrari are definitely the big change here. Also McLaren have brought some upgrades, and also Williams. Those are the three teams that have brought the most substantial upgrades for this race. Apparently Haas, for example, who are struggling at the bottom, the rumour is they're going to bring some upgrades for Cota, which is round 9 I believe, so they're waiting a little bit longer for their home race. So different teams offer different strategies here, and Ferrari and also McLaren are ones to watch out for as competitors. Also Williams as well are in with a shout in mixing up that midfield battle. But jumping into qualifying, Mick felt confident. He still felt like he had a good car underneath him. Nothing's changed in their car for this race, so he knows exactly what he's working with, and he knows he can do a good job with it. As did Charles Leclerc. He also thought the car was still really good, and there's a lot of potential in the car, and hopefully Sauber will bring their first upgrades relatively soon for their own car. When they've not specified, but we'll have to wait and see. But so far in qualifying, after the first sector pretty much, Mick Schumacher only down in P15 at the moment. A bit of a poor first half of the lap so far, as we make our way now well into the second sector, up through the chicanes into the very fast turn 9, and you can see Hamilton there and Raikkonen are all sort of switching positions. Ferrari actually competing with the fastest times at the moment here on this lap. Now Vettel is the man on top here, so all exchanging positions at the moment. Meanwhile, Mick has now recovered to 11th place in this lap. So far it's getting a little bit better and it's constantly improving. And as we now go into the final sector and the final few turns here, can Mick pull something out of the bag and try and get himself potentially into the top 10? So far he has done it. He's got himself in P10 as we now go through the final corner. Vettel has held on to the lead marvellously for the rest of the lap there as we come across the line, and Vettel, I believe, has taken pole position. Mick Schumacher, though, does creep into the top 10 at the end there with 10th place. So overall, not too bad, and a pretty good recovery considering a poor start to the lap was indeed what occurred. And looking at the grid now for the race, you can see Sebastian Vettel is on pole, the first man to get pole besides Lewis Hamilton this season. And speaking of Hamilton, he joins Vettel on the front row in second place there, only half a tenth splitting those two. Pierre Gasly in P3 ahead of Kimi Raikkonen in the second Ferrari, so two Ferraris in the top 4. There's Valtteri Bottas and Max Verstappen round out the top 6 on the third row of the grid. Fernando Alonso is in P7, beating Nico Hülkenberg there, who is in P8, and Hülkenberg, fair play, beating Esteban Ocon there for 8th place and splitting the Porsche cars as Mick Schumacher brings out the top 10. But overall, a very close top 10. That top 6 extremely close, and only nearly 3 tenths covering the top 6 drivers, so it's extremely close around this circuit. And anything can happen and anybody can win it. There is rain expected in the race today, so with that in mind, that could potentially really throw a spanner in the works and spice up the race. But Mick Schumacher there, 1.128 off the pace, which is the exact amount of time Daniel Ricciardo was in P11. So Mick and Daniel matching times in qualifying there, but Mick getting the benefit of the position, so fair play. As Daniel gets the free tyre choice, even though it's not going to matter much as rain is on the horizon. Pascal Wehrlein, though, in the Williams, a phenomenal 12th place for them, and the best qualifying on the season bar none for those guys. Carlos Sainz 13th, Charles Leclerc in P14 ahead of Stoffel Van Dorn. Danny Kvyat beat Sergio Perez, and Lance Stroll finally not in last place as he gets 18th place, and it's both of the Haas cars bringing up the rear of Grosjean, managing to out-qualify Kevin Magnussen. But like I mentioned, apparently Haas have a big upgrade planned for Cota, but they're going to have to wait and suffer a little bit more pain for a little bit longer in this season. But with that being said, that is your grid for the Spanish Grand Prix, the top 20 drivers. And now we jump into the race, so round number 4 for the Spanish Grand Prix, and let's see how this action-packed race unfolds as there is rain expected. Right then, here we go, getting ready for the 5 red lights for the Spanish Grand Prix. Lights out and away we go off the line. It's a pretty decent start actually. We haven't lost any places. Pascal Wehrlein getting a great start in the Williams behind us, but we're going to hold on to our position here as we race down to turn 1. Going to be careful to keep our front wing in one piece if possible. Got to be very, very careful through these corners. We've got Raikkonen going wide here. We're going to look for the outside on Hülkenberg and Ocon. Alonso-esque move here. Can we make it work? Yes, we do. Phenomenal stuff around the outside of 2 cars and up into 8th place. Phenomenal turn 3 there. We've got rain expected, I think, soon. We're never going to have time for another pit stop for dries. I think it might come by like lap 6 or 7, I reckon. So it's going to be predominantly a wet race, hence why we qualify on these tyres. I'm curious to see when the rain does come though, but so far it's a brilliant start and the race pace is promising. So it's an encouraging sign so far. After practice, the car looked good and also felt good, so there is room for positivity here and reasons to try and push on with this, even though what we have in front of us is pretty much the fastest guys in the grid, with the exception of Alonso, who we might catch. But apparently Porsche also have a lot better race pace as well, and also good wet weather pace. So let's see how this race exactly pans out. Quite an amazing contrast in position and also car pace. Vettel leads, Raikkonen can't get past Alonso in P7, so incredible contrast there. Vettel was going pretty fast in Mercedes, they were looking the fastest so far, and I can see Vettel's been put under pressure by Lewis Hamilton here, but so far we're all sort of keeping up with each other. Ocon and Hulkenberg are scrapping out behind me, which has allowed me to sort of break away on this last lap. But we're keeping up with the top 7 pretty much here, not losing too much contact with these main guys, which is a good thing as we transition into the intermediate conditions. Yellow flags behind, something's happened. I think Ocon's got a problem with his car. I'm going to presume he's got potentially a puncture because he was going very slow, and I heard on the radio that he had car trouble. So Ocon with a puncture by the looks of it. Luckily he's very close to the pit entry, so he'll get away with that one relatively unscathed. Currently though, on to lap 4, no sign of the rain just yet, but apparently any second it could start raining, so we have to be ready. And there we go, the rain has arrived here at Catalunya. It has begun to rain, light rain now on circuit. Heavy rain is not expected until right at the end of the Grand Prix, so we'll be going on to the inserts first of all. The question is, what lap will that happen? Oof, a little bit of a wobble there. Tyres are already slipping away. Whoever's leading the race is holding up a bit of a train here. Also, that's good news for me because I'm running solo, so I'm going to get a free pit box. And most of these guys are going to have to stack up their second car or stay out another lap, so we are going to gain big positions here. Here we go then, everyone's going to come in this lap. I've just been suggested a strategy change. That normally means that AI will also come in as well, but we're all bunching up here. So let's see what happens in the pit lane. Is it going to be complete and utter chaos? I guess we'll find out. The number 2 drivers, so to speak, the people that are second on track have to stay out for another lap, which is going to absolutely ruin their chances of a decent race finish here. So we're going to come in, we're going to get a free pit box. Alonso's going to also get a free pit box in the Porsche one, so there's going to be battles here. We're holding everybody up though on the jack, which is good news. Alonso onto inters, Hamilton onto inters. Leclerc's going to follow me in, which is good news. I should have enough of a gap to not ruin my teammate's race, which is good. So let's see where exactly Leclerc is. Okay, none of the cars around me, so he's going to hopefully get a free pit box as well, which is good news. And we've come out ahead of Fernando Alonso. That is brilliant news. We've jumped Alonso in the pit stops. Obviously, Alonso might have had some traffic, so the lollipop might have stayed down. So we've managed to get past, and we're now ahead of the Spaniard. So this is very good news for us. Now let's try and settle onto these tyres, see what the pace is like, and see if we can match the leader's pace in these wet conditions. It's first time this season in the wet, so relative unknown for us so far this season, and not really sure how this car performs in these conditions. So far so good. We've got cars in the pit lane now, so let's see how many places we gain. It's looking like we're going to be in P4 after that entire pit stop phase. Absolutely incredible. We've benefited massively from that first round of pit stops, and we are in 4th position. Absolutely incredible. Whether we can stay here or not, we'll have to wait and see, but that is an incredible first part of the race here. Apparently heavy rain is expected in 5 minutes, which is not what is said on the start menu screen, so we'll see what happens. That could really throw things up in the air. Currently stacking traffic here behind Lance Stroll in the improved Williams. They brought some upgrades for this weekend. Pascal did a really good job in qualifying. Stroll not so much, but we're trying to get past him. He's holding me up a little bit here. I feel like we've actually got the same pace, if not slightly better pace, than Sebastian Vettel here. So there is potential to potentially get past the German. So let's see how it goes, but I definitely feel like there's some pace in the car in these conditions. First retirement of the Grand Prix, Stoffel Van Dorn out of the Spanish Grand Prix. It looks like no safety car from the incident again. So Stoffel out, first retiree of the Grand Prix, and I can tell you I am faster than Sebastian Vettel. We are really reeling him in here, and that name tag is getting closer and closer. We're now inside a second of Sebastian. We've got a genuine chance here of getting a podium. Here we go then in the slipstream of Sebastian Vettel onto lap 9. Yellow flag zone, we're now into the green, but we're not really gaining anything on the straight on that improved Ferrari, which brought some big upgrades also for this weekend. Ferrari, McLaren and Williams were the 3 major beneficiaries of upgrades, and it has showed in their qualifying performance, but Van Dorn is one of the cars that is out of the race. But so far I'm liking this. We're faster than Sebastian Vettel, I think, and up ahead you can see Hamilton is being hustled and harried, but I'm going to presume that's either Max Verstappen or Pierre Gasly. I know it's one of the Red Bulls, but I'm not sure which one it is. Up the hill, we are very close to Sebastian here. I think he's going to find some extra downforce through turn 9, which I can't really match with So it's going to buy him a little bit of distance to stay ahead of me for now, but we are looking dangerous and we are looking fast. Into the hairpin, Vettel goes a little bit deep. I'm going to tap the back of him slightly here, but we're putting the pressure on the 4 times world champion. Can we go on the outside? Just not really going to happen, is it? Not in this car. We just don't have the downforce or the grip. But we are very close to Sebastian here. I've got some rich mix to burn, so if I can just get nice and cleanly onto the straight, I can burn it and try and overtake Sebastian. That's a very nice run for the chicane. Into rich mix, keeping it nice and tidy for the final corner. A little bit of a tank slapper, but we've got the run. Here we go. Going to the inside on Sebastian. This is for the podium. I can't believe I'm saying this, and we've made it work. Rich mix coming through for us, and we're into 3rd place of the Spanish Grand Prix. These wet conditions are suiting their Sauber absolutely beautifully. Up next is Pierre Gasly in the Red Bull. Here we go, hot 3rd of the way through the race. We've already put 1.3 into our distance to Sebastian Vettel. We are flying around this racetrack, and Gasly and Hamilton are battling it out, so we are only going to gain even more time on these two. The race victory is looking likely at this point in the race. Okay, apparently now we are in heavy rain conditions, so there could be a chance of switching over to the full wet soon. It's not going to be this lap because the team haven't offered me anything, and I still feel like there's good pace in the car on these tyres, but potentially the next lap there is some sliding going on, and the low speed corners are definitely a little bit slower than what they were a couple of laps ago, so conditions worsening. But look at the distance. We are flying around here. We are catching Gasly and Hamilton. We could be on the back of them by the end of the next lap. I'm going to select the full wets and get the transition prepared because it could be this lap for full wets. Okay, we're continuing on for one more lap here. I'm just going to follow what Gasly and Lewis do because it's working so far staying on these tyres. And the lap times are still very consistent. There's no sign of the lap times getting worse, even though we're now in full wet conditions. We're knocking on the door here. Any second this could be an overtake. Hamilton is still leading the way. Gasly putting the pressure on as ever since lap 1. But we are looking very racy here at the Circuit de Catalunya. Shades of Spain 1996. Like Mick Schumacher's father, Michael Schumacher, just walking around this track in the full wet conditions. Okay, whether we can overtake one of these two is going to be interesting. But I'm going to crank it up to rich mix here onto the home stretch. Not the best of exits, but we'll see what we can do. Rich mix flowing on this Alfa Romeo, and we are slowly gaining on Pierre. Is it going to be enough? I don't think it is. Not quite, but we are very close, a little bit deep into turn 1. Hamilton's just opened up the gap a little bit there to Pierre. I wonder if he's also cranked it up to rich mix, but Hamilton responding, and he's just sort of switched on the pace a little bit. Let's try and keep on putting the pressure on these two guys. This is an interesting dilemma because we are scheduled to come in this lap, but realistically I don't know what time to come in for because we are in heavy rain conditions, and it says this rain has no signs of letting up. So is it going to get worse? I'm not sure. Either way, let's see what Hamilton and Gasly do. I'm going to stay out for a bit longer here. I feel good on these tyres. They're around 30 to 35% worn, so it's definitely manageable. But let's see, Hamilton and Gasly, they come in. So let's go on a contra strategy here and roll the dice. Let's stay out, and let's see how long we can stay out for. And let's see if we do actually go onto them full wet tyres. I'm curious. Let's see what tyres Hamilton and Gasly got on. Again, on the radio, at least 20 minutes of heavy rainfall. So is it even worth going onto the full wet? Doesn't look like it. Hamilton has gone onto the Inter, so has Gasly. So Inters are looking like the way to go in these full wet conditions, which is quite interesting. Okay, the weather, I've got to be honest with you, the weather doesn't seem to be getting any worse. If anything, it's looking a little bit better. We are going to come in this lap for the intermediates and follow the strategy of Pierre and Lewis because everyone's gone for it, and the rain is showing no signs of getting any worse, even though it's full wet conditions. So we're going to come in here. Got to be careful of the speed limit. Make sure we don't speed, and there we go. Got a fresh set of Inters selected onto the car, so hopefully it's a nice, quick, simple stop with no issues. And let's see where we rejoin. All the second drivers of Bottas, Verstappen and Raikkonen and Ocon are all going to come in this lap. So let's see what happens. Hopefully a nice quick stop from the boys. 2.6, not too bad, pretty much 2.7. And let's see where we rejoin up to speed. There's Hamilton, I can see. And look at this, we've rejoined miles ahead of Hamilton and Gasly here. They had a bit of traffic, I think. I saw a blue dot there for traffic. So with that, by staying up one more lap, we've managed to come out in first place in the Spanish Grand Prix at just under half race distance. This is absolutely incredible. If we can hold this, this would be a phenomenal result. Gap now 3 seconds to Lewis Hamilton. We are really running well here. Got the best race pace by a country mile, and the conditions are showing no sign of changing. So right now we are looking nailed on for an incredible and potential first race win in our 4th race of season 2. That would be absolutely remarkable if that happened. Another good lap there. That was 6 tenths faster than my previous, and the gap is 3.8. That was 8 tenths we took out of Hamilton there on that last lap. This pace is ridiculous. I'm so quick, and I can't even put my finger on why. I do feel like Gasly is a lot faster than Hamilton, but he just can't get the run on the straights, especially now DRS is disabled. Otherwise, I think Gasly might be a little bit closer to me, if not faster. Oh, we've got yellow flag behind. Someone's had a problem. Someone's retired, and I think it's Pierre Gasly again. Oh, wow. The Red Bulls this season. That's 4 retirements in 4 races. 2 for Verstappen and 2 for Gasly. That is a massive blow for the championship. And that's going to promote Vettel into a podium position, and Alonso, the current championship leader, into P4. So things really blown wide open. I have Gasly retiring from the Spanish Grand Prix, but that is a massive blow for the Frenchman. Oh, Magnussen, what are you doing, mate? Blue flags, come on, get out of the way. Please, just stay on the left-hand side there. Come on, move. I don't understand why nothing's happening. Just stay to one side. Oh, wow, okay, I just have to push my way through. Really stupid driving from Kevin Magnussen there. Then again, I'm not really surprised. Okay, I think Lewis is coming to the pit lane for a pit stop. The final stop of the race. Once again, I'm staying out one more lap just to make sure I've got the gap, so there's no concern or no risk of an undercut. Right then, let's get ready for our final stop of the race. Through the chicane, nice and tidy. Bring it over to the right-hand side, into the pit lane. And now wait for the pit limiter to come on, get it all slowed down, and there we go, that was absolutely perfect. So here we go then, onto our final stop, onto a fresh set of the intermediate compound tyres. And let's see, we should be able to comfortably rejoin the lead, and then from here on out it's basically just bring the car home, simple as that. The mechanics are a little bit slow to get going, as Leclerc I believe was in the pit lane just a moment ago, so it's a 3.8 stop, not the best one you've ever seen, but I think I'll have enough of a gap over Lewis to still remain in front of him, but we would have lost a little bit of time to the British driver. But overall, I'm not complaining. We are back underway here on fresh inters. Let's bring this one home, and if we win this race, that would be absolutely remarkable. Oh, Valtteri Bottas out of the Grand Prix. And Verstappen. Wow, what's happened there? Jeez, and Verstappen out again. 3 out of the first 5 races Verstappen has retired. That is massive. And the double Red Bull DNF, that car is so unreliable this season. I don't know what's going on, but a double retirement, there must have been a crash. Surely something's happened, because they were both coming into the pit lane at the same time on the same lap. I wonder if they tried to go in side by side or something and hit the wall. I've got absolutely no idea, but both of them out of the race. That is incredible. That's going to leave a massive opportunity for points for the people in the lower end who don't normally score points. So let's see what happens here in the end of the race. Down to Hamilton 7.3, so somehow, even with the slow stop, we have gained an absolute mountain of time over Lewis. So we are well in control of this race, and we have thoroughly deserved the win if we do win this one. That is by far my personal best in these conditions. I've lapped within 9.3 of my personal best in the dry. I couldn't even get nowhere near inside 10 seconds before, so we are flying. Gap up to 8.5. We are dominating the Spanish Grand Prix, and we are winning it in style. Okay, hopefully this Haas gets out of the way a little bit easier than his teammate. Grosjean, know your role, mate, and pull over to one side and let me through, please. Thank you. That was much easier. Right. 5 full racing laps to go. We're looking good. Right then, on to the final lap of the Grand Prix for the Spanish Grand Prix. It's been a domination job. One more lap to go to complete it. Let's win this. Here we go then, through the final few corners, just bringing this one home. Nice and easy. We've got 11 seconds on Lewis Hamilton. I repeat, 11 seconds on Lewis Hamilton. Well, we come through the final corner and we are going to win the Spanish Grand Prix. And I believe that might be the first ever victory in Mick Schumacher's career. I don't think he ever managed to win one in season 1 with the Manor car. I'm not 100% sure from memory, but I don't recall it off the top of my head. But even still, first win with Alfa Romeo, absolutely phenomenal job, and I cannot complain. That was an absolutely incredible race. Well, looking at the final race results, you can see Mick wins ahead of Lewis Hamilton and Sebastian Vettel. Fernando Alonso in P4 for Porsche, ahead of Nico Hülkenberg in a phenomenal P5. Pascal Wehrlein, P6 for Williams, a massive result for the team there. Their first points of the season. Daniel Ricciardo in P7 in the first of the McLarens, ahead of Charles Leclerc in the second, Alfa Romeo in P8. Kimi Räikkönen only 9th place in the Ferrari on a 3-stop strategy. Very poor race from the Iceman, with Carlos Sainz running at the points and Esteban Ocon once again in the Porsche missing out on the points there. So Ocon really struggling in that German-based manufacturer car, but what a drive from Pascal Wehrlein as well. Shout out to him, really good race, and overall cannot complain. In terms of the Drivers' Championship after that race, Alonso leads the way thanks to Gasly's retirement, and Hamilton jumps up into second place, only 4 points behind the Spaniard. Mick Schumacher into third place, 10 points off at the top of the table, overtaking Raikkonen, Vettel and Gasly in one clean swoop. Then we have Ocon, Bottas, Verstappen and finally Nico Hülkenberg rounding out the top 10 with Charles Leclerc equal on points in P11 there. But overall, a very, very close Drivers' Championship. And finally the Constructors, you can see Porsche lead the way ahead of Ferrari and Mercedes. Alfa Romeo now in P4 thanks to that 25 points from the race win, overtaking Red Bull Racing. Absolutely incredible there. And Williams also scoring their first points of the season, so credit to those guys. And only 2 teams now remain to score points, and those are Jaguar and Haas. But overall, guys, an absolutely incredible episode here today for the Spanish Grand Prix, a potentially historic one. And if you guys did enjoy that, please do drop a like on the video. Let's try and smash, guys, 200 likes for the race win. If you're new around here, do get subscribed for daily Formula 1 and MotoGP content. Turn notifications to not miss a single upload from me. And finally, check out these 2 videos if you have missed them. But other than that, guys, thank you for watching. Let's see you on my next video very soon. Goodbye.